So, welcome everyone. This is Erin from Khan Academy, and we are recording this session for anyone who wasn't able to make any of the trainings. This is the one that we'll likely send out to them so that they understand how the peer-to-peer review will work. To get started, I want to really thank everyone for volunteering to be judges for this contest. We are very excited to be running this contest for the first time this year. In case some of you didn't realize, this is the first time we're running this Breakthrough Junior Challenge, and it is a contest created between the Breakthrough Prize and Khan Academy with the goal of kind of getting students excited about math and science, science in general, which includes life sciences and physics, but get them excited and realize how important it is to understand key theories and concepts in science, and then connect them to this world of judges like you who are, brought to us because you're great teachers or because you're doing something great in those communities, and then the larger group of the Breakthrough Prize, which contains, laureates who are making, gigantic breakthrough discoveries and making them feel part of this greater world where if you pursue math and science, not only can it help you do well in some specific known careers, but you could actually make that your goal and just focus on finding new discoveries. And that's something that's very exciting. So anyway, so thank you all for volunteering to be judges. All of you were brought to us either because we knew you or you were recommended to us as being great teachers or innovators, and so we're very happy and proud to have such a wonderful group of judges working with us. So with that, I will turn it over to Jason.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Morgan. I'm the CEO of Common Pool, and we design competitive scientific trials and prize competitions. That's what we do as a company. And we have a software company called Rampant Software that we use to design websites for prizes and to allow for the registration and the assessment of content through these prizes, and then to manage those competitions. So our firm is responsible for the website that you're seeing on your screen now, and our firm fields folks like Jordan, who's on the phone now, both to train you and to support you as you act as a judge in this competition. So what makes our competitions unique and what makes this competition very special is that we're focused on kids who are 13 to 18 years old. And in order to make sure that they feel like there's an assurance of fairness and that we're delivering a transparent and open process, if you go to our website, which is available at www.breakthroughjuniorchallenge.org, you can And that's important because in describing that algorithm, we actually describe how we assure fairness for one student who may be assigned 5 harsh judges and another student who may be assigned 5 easy judges. So that's a mathematical equation, and I'll show you kind of how to navigate through the site very quickly so you can both read that and see the other requirements. Jordan has just clicked on what we call the hamburger, which is the 3-stripe line in the upper right-hand corner of the website. This takes you to what we call the dashboard. And here you can look underneath the Navigate heading, and you can find that there are multiple interior web pages where you can go and see things like the trait scoring rubric, the various stages of the competition and the timeline for those stages, and then where it says a level playing field, that's where you can read about our normalization process. However, Jordan, I'm going to ask you to go to the main landing page, the splash page for the site. And what we've done in order to capture the attention of a young student and make sure that basic questions are being answered and that those answers are available very easily is that if you were to scroll past the initial video of Saul Khan and Priscilla Chan talking about their strategic goals for this competition, you'll see that you're presented with a series of questions. And if you were to click on any of those questions, the answers are provided, and there are links available within those answers that take you to interior web pages where there are more thorough explanations. So if you could roll down, one of the things that I want to show everyone is how is my submission scored. So if you could go to that question, Jordan, and click on that, you'll find an interior link from that question that'll take us to what we call the trait scoring rubric. And the trait scoring rubric is the tool that you're going to use to assess those students who are going to be assigned to you. And Jordan is then going to walk you through the process that you're going to undertake to both access those assignments and to complete that scoring process. So, Jordan, can you take us to the trait scoring rubric, please?
Working on it.
Sure, no problem. While he's doing that, I'm going to walk through some clerical points. One is that when those distributions of individual student submissions are made to you, one of the things that we want you to do when you first receive them is to look through all of those assignments and try and determine if there's any potential conflict of interest. So while some people may look at their distributions and begin scoring from top to bottom, I want you to take a minute when you've got your distributions and to go through all of them, watch the videos, read the essays, and see if there's anything in there that would be a problem for you to score that particular student. And if there is, you'll be given instructions for who to contact and how we can make those redistributions to ensure that you're comfortable. Another thing that we're going to ask you to do following this call is to submit your particular area of expertise. This is the first year of the competition, and our sponsors have asked that each one of the submissions should be labeled as either a video that emphasizes a scientific principle of maths, physics, or life sciences. Now, those are extremely overlapping disciplines. We know that. And in this first year, we're trying to kind of work out better labeling for next year. But for now, we want you to tell us if you would prefer to receive submissions in maths, physics, or life sciences, and we'll do our very best to make sure you get the ones that are most relevant to you. It's likely that you will still get some outside of that particular area of interest, but again, we'll do our very best. So, Jordan, if you could bring us to the trait scoring rubric. So the trait scoring rubric is a tool that includes 4 distinct traits. And the structure of that tool is that each of those traits has a label or a word to define that particular trait. I think we're having give us a minute here while Jordan gets us to the TSR. Here we go. This is the external version. This is the version that the public can see. So again, students can go and see exactly how they're going to be scored. The 4 labels include the first one, which is the label of engagement. You'll see beneath that label, there is what we call the prompt, which is 1 or more questions that are used to define or to clarify the label. Then you'll notice that there is a 5-point scale, which allows you, the judge, to resolve your score on that trait by toggling back and forth and moving that dot to a score that you feel comfortable attributing to that particular submission. You'll see that as Jordan scrolls through these single integer scoring ranges, there are different subscoring range definitions that pop up on the screen. That's our effort to more clearly state exactly what it means to resolve a score within those integer ranges. You'll also find that there are anchor words on the extreme ends of each scale. This is to further clarify exactly what it means to kind of fall within the extreme range. Lastly, there is a phrase at the top called leave comments. And Jordan's going to walk you through that in a minute. But your job as a judge is to resolve a score for each of the 4 traits and then to leave a minimum 50-character comment to clarify or to further explain your reason for giving that particular score for that particular trait. And what that means is that your total score, the total scoring process for any particular application is going to provide to that applicant 4 scores and a 50 minimum character explanation of each of those scores. Now, we are normalizing at 5 reviews per entry. So as you can imagine, that's a robust package that's going to be coming from these students, and it's going to be showing them that credible authorities feel like their submission deserves a particular score based on those comments and based on scores for each of those traits. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Jordan, and Jordan is going to walk you through the actual process for accessing the back end of the system and for going through that scoring process.
Hi, everyone. To demonstrate, we're going to go to the demo website that we've set up with a bunch of demo information built into it. So you can disregard the web address. It will be exactly the same website. As before, on the main website, as a judge, you will be provided a login and password. Once you get that, you can come in and click on the menu like we did before, and it will pull up the login page or the login window. Right now, I'm going to log in as a sample judge that we have set up. Once you log in, you'll be brought to the dashboard page. The dashboard page is kind of the summary page of everything that's going on the website. This is primarily here for participants to be able to see, get reminders, and see what's really going on with everything. As a judge, once you get to this page, you can quickly jump to your scoring by clicking on the menu right at the top of the page next to the word dashboard and selecting judging. Judging brings you to the judging page. On the judging page, we have lots of different pieces of information for you. The submission column gives you the links to begin to click to review your application. Submitted by will be the username or the participant's name that submitted the application. If you want a quick overview of who they are, if they've submitted any information to their profile, clicking on their name will load the profile that they've updated. Many participants may not have, but it's something you can look at if you would like to. Rubric finished column will inform you whether you've finished all of the requirements in that rubric or not. It's a quick way to reference whether you've completed all of the submissions down this list. The scores will list any score that you've provided. If you didn't complete the scoring or the rubric, it will only display the scores combined of what you've done so far. Start date and last modified are pretty self-explanatory. It's when you started the scoring, and last modified is when you last made any changes. We'll get back to the close date column in just a minute. To begin reviewing, click on Review in the submission column, and that will bring you to the scoring rubric page. Here on the scoring page, you have the application. The first section of the application lists the video with all of the requirements that they were supposed to have for that video or in that video. Here you can watch watching it to quickly watch through that video. Once you've watched the video, you can continue reading through the questions that they were required to answer. You can read what the requirement of the answer was and read their answer. Once you've completed reviewing the entire application, and if you want to begin scoring and don't want the application in your way, you can click the little arrow at the top. The arrow at the top will minimize the application and the scoring appears underneath. This will look really similar to what we just looked at, except it's fully functional since it is the scoring page. As we discussed before, there's a label here, engagement, so we'll want to score based on engagement. Read the identifier here to see how to score. And then once we begin choosing to score, you'll see that the 2.5 is in red. Once you've chosen a score, it will turn green once it saves. So everything automatically saves on this page. Once again, you can read just above the rating bar to make sure that the score you're providing matches what you think should be included in that application. Also notice now that I've completed one requirement, you'll see here at the top of the page, you can kind of track what you've completed so far. You've completed 1 of 9 tasks. That will turn green once you've completed all 9 requirements as well. Same goes for your comments. You can see here that the comment's in red, which means you haven't done it yet. You click to leave a comment, and once again we'll leave a comment with a minimum of 50 characters explaining our score and providing feedback to the participant. Once we've done that, we can close. And we've completed our first scoring trait. There are 3 other traits to score by. I think the first one's straightforward enough. I'll go ahead and score each of these really quick. One other thing you can pay attention to while scoring is the last saved date in the top right of the page. That will let you know when you last saved the application. So if that stops updating while you're filling out the scores, that's a good indicator that you've lost internet connection or for some reason it's not saving the scores that you're inputting. If you notice that happening, it'll avoid getting through an application missing. And it shouldn't happen, but if it does, that'll be one way to see that it's happening. When we get to the bottom of the application, you will have an overall score. I didn't identify earlier, but the scoring traits will all be for the video itself, all 4 of those scoring traits we just went through. The overall score will be a score that you can estimate on how you felt about the application as a whole, including the video and the questions that they had to answer. So we'll give a score between 0 and 100. Just say they did 65. And if that's complete, you'll see 9 out of 9 is complete. So we are done with this application and we can go back to the judging page. Your score will automatically update once you go back and it saves. It's doing that right now. Okay, so our score has saved, and we can see here that the rubric finish column says, yes, we are done. The score has been listed, and a close now button has appeared. What you can do if you don't finish an application, or if you, for some reason, can't finish an application and have to return, you can always return and make any changes or finish the scoring by going back and clicking the review button. Once you've completed all the requirements, the Close Now button will appear. Once you click that Close Now button, it will completely finalize and basically solidify your score in the system and let us know that you've completed scoring that application. The one thing with that, though, is that once you click the Close Now, since it's finalized, you can't make any changes. some judges prefer to wait and just close all of their applications once they're done scoring everything. Some really up to you on how you want to handle that. If you want to be able to quickly review your scores or your comments, maybe you want to read through them real quick to see if there's anything to edit, you can click the score in the score column, and it will load a page that just lists everything in a quick and easy way to view it. You can click back in and view the application on this page as well, if you'd prefer to. I believe that pretty much concludes everything I have to share about the judging process. There will be a help video provided to you, whether it be on this page or in an email, in case you need a review of this entire process. I guess at this point I'll turn it over to any questions anyone may have or any comments the rest of the staff here may want to provide.
So I just wanted to, this is Erin, I just wanted to emphasize the rubric where you're sliding the bar, that's really for the video. And then the overall score is your chance to really identify, say you have two videos that are really wonderful, and it turns out they have the exact same score from the rubric. The overall score gives you a chance to take into account the user or the student who really put effort into those short answers and wrote something that was really thoughtful and meaningful. That's where you can then give them credit and say, you know, even though these two videos between the two students are equally fantastic, this student seems to have a better story. They put more effort into their short answers and painted a better picture of why this contest is meaningful to them. And so I just wanted to make that clear. If there are no questions, we will be on hand from day one when you get started reviewing. So please email us at, Lynn, what was the email again?
info@rampit.com.
And we'll email a reminder so that if you run into any issues, then you can send an email and we'll reply right away.
Yeah, you can also send it directly to jordan@rampit.com, and we'll make sure you have all that information by email when you receive your passwords.
I see we do have one question. I did just unmute everyone, so if anyone does have a question, feel free to speak up. I did have everyone muted until now.
So I see Servando's question about registering for the site, and as I understand, and Shane or Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, you are creating logins for everyone that we will distribute, correct?
Correct. We'll develop a list of logins based on their emails and provide those logins to the judges. So there will be no registration process for the judges to have to go through.
Yep. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, great. So we're really excited. I've looked through some of the videos, and I think this is going to be very fun and interesting for everyone. We've seen a lot of interesting topics being covered, and just some really interesting, different, fun and insightful videos are being made. So I have high hopes that you will all enjoy this process. And please, please, please. Oh, and we have one more question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. You mentioned that if there was an applicant, we couldn't like score to contact somebody to help us redistribute something like that. Who do we contact if that happens?
So you'll email the info at Rampant, or you can email Jordan. So what we'll do is we'll send you an email either the night before or the day of, just reminding you that you can reply essentially to that email that you're going to receive if you have any issues. There you go, info at Rampant and Jordan at rampant.com. Great. Okay, so thank you. Use those emails liberally because we definitely want you to be confident of what you are doing. And yeah, have fun. Enjoy seeing everything that these students have created. I think that's it.